The Enduro World Series is a relatively new discipline in mountain biking, but since its creation back in 2013, the EWS has gone from strength to strength and is now arguably in the running for the premier class of mountain bike racing, sitting alongside UCI Cross Country and UCI Downhill. These three specific disciplines are battling to be the pure example of the greatest mountain biking and mountain bikers on the planet. Both UCI events are well established and the racing talent is undeniable. However, longevity isn't enough reason to put these two disciplines at the top. EWS may be young, but the pool of racers taking part, the diversity in location and accessibility globally, and importantly its relevance to the everyday mountain biker means that EWS can now convincingly make the claim that it is the greatest example of mountain bike racing in the world. Simply put, the premier class of mountain biking. What is the EWS? The EWS is an exceptional racing series that spans the globe. Not only is it a truly global race series with amazing representation in different regions of the world, it is also accessible to every level of rider out there, from the most inexperienced amateur racer to the elite level pro. With all that said, what is Enduro? This discipline is special because it challenges a rider's ability to perform on many levels, whether that is climbing, descending, or even bike management and maintenance. So if you have no idea of what happens in an EWS event, here's a brief rundown of your typical enduro race. Riders are set on a course that has a set time limit, and within that course there are stages with specific start times for the rider. If they don't make their start time for a stage, they're time penalised. Each stage is individually timed, and then accumulated sum of the time from these stages is what positions a rider against his or her competitors. The real payoff from Enduro is the range of racing we get to experience. The pro level, for example, is producing downhill talents that can go as quick as the downhill racers themselves, but with arguably a broader range of fitness and climbing ability. More well-rounded mountain bikers, in short. Now, is that true? Are EWS racers the best riders on the planet? There is an argument for it, yes. It isn't conclusive at the moment, but in time it might be. There is a lesson to be learned in simply watching an EWS race, and then think about your own riding. How does it stand up to the idea of covering that type of course? Could you do it? As a mental test, the idea of racing an EWS will expose some obvious points of improvement. What about actually racing one though? That's right, anyone can race these events. The EWS 100 is an everybody is welcome, 100% the same accurate running of the pro race, but without the qualification requirement. Anyone who can get an entry can race the exact same course as the top riders. Now, the EWS 80 is a way of doing the same, but on a course that is 80% of the flagship event. It's no way an easy challenge, but it's more than just a taster. Either 100 or 80, whichever one, they're a great route into EWS and maybe a lifetime challenge for a less experienced rider. The Enduro bike is fast becoming the best example of an all-rounder mountain bike. In terms of what the mountain bike will become, where it will advance for the future and for us, the customer. Well, this is where the advancement is going to come from. A mountain bike of the future will need to be able to perform on this level of challenge. The great news is we get to ride them. It's not easy to come into mountain biking this late, relatively speaking, and become arguably the quintessential example of what a mountain bike does. Although that is a trick, of course, because Enduro hasn't invented the modern mountain bike. The sport of Enduro is a cake baked by the modern mountain bike itself. The bike we all actually ride needs something that represents what it can do. It can handle so much more than just a cross-country course. It can handle 95% of all downhill tracks with ease. It needed a new venture to really showcase what a real mountain bike can do. The EWS does exactly that, like nothing else. There are ex-downhill racers who are smashing it in the Enduro World Series. Sam Hill is the most prominent in those terms. He's won everything in downhill and now in EWS too. However, then you have EWS racers who have also translated their enduro skills to the elite level downhill too. Martin Mays is the perfect example of this. He's dominated EWS and won downhill World Cup level 2. In the women's EWS, we have been spoilt over the EWS short history. Tracy Mosley, Anne-Caroline Chausson, Cécile Ravenel, and now Isabeau Coudurier. The legends and talent is ridiculous. It's sticking around too. This will be the benchmark discipline in years to come. It exploded on the scene very recently. For a while it was a strange alternative, but these days it is at least the equal competitor to the UCI downhill and cross-country disciplines. That comparison is based on the quality of racing, the talent of riders, the variety and quality of the locations. In fact, as you stack EWS up against other disciplines or any other scene, using those things as touch points, it's very hard to beat. The Enduro World Series could well be the discipline of racing that takes mountain biking to the mainstream. It could do it in a number of ways too, possibly in all ways. Let me explain. The top flight racing is undoubtedly the perfect selling point to excite interest. It's basically super exciting to watch. In that sense, it has everything all the other racing has. The big difference is that EWS is essentially a mass participation event too. It has the same accessibility and life-changing challenge that a marathon or a triathlon has. The everyday rider can aim at this form of mountain biking and be inspired to participate. Now that is pretty special. Is the EWS your favourite form of mountain biking? If so, what is it you love? Is it the amazing racing or the riders themselves? The incredible bikes that are involved, or the fact that you get to do it too? Let us know in the comments section down below what EWS means to you. Plus, what would you like me to take a look at next? Maybe I could dive deep into a great rider or a great event that you've always enjoyed. Let us know in the comments section down below, and until next time, I'll say goodbye.